It is the first week of October 2024. Jeff and I have signed up for a 5-day trip down the Spey with Frontier Bushcraft. There are umpteen videos on YouTube about the Spey, and here is yet another one with my personal interpretation. With thanks to Paul, Ray and all the other paddlers for making this a great trip to remember. Loch Insh is as flat as a mill pond this morning, and very different to a previous paddle when we had to battle with the wind to cross the loch. After a good breakfast, we equip the boats with airbags and go off for our first session on the water. This morning the session is all about edging the boat. The group consists of 2 couples, Ted, who's going to paddle solo, and Yodi, Mike, Yeffy and Johnny, who have to make tandem pairs and learn to paddle together. The wind picks up a little in the afternoon, and we paddle a few hundred metres to where the Spey exits Loch Insh. A few hundred metres downstream is a very small rapid where the participants can practice eddying in and eddying out and ferrying across. Autumn is starting to show its colours. The Spey is such a wonderful location to go paddling. After the practice sessions yesterday, we are finally off to the river. Ray took the trailer down to Spey Bay this morning. The taxi driver did not turn up on time. We therefore got on the water far later than planned.
Okay, here we are folks, we're at the start of the Spey, just about to step into our boats and enjoy a good 3-day trip down to the sea.
Somebody's pointed out I think there will be a tree problem, so we may even jump out and just use the painter to walk the boats on the lead down the side, so there's no chance of you ending up under a tree. Okay.
With everything firmly tied in, we make our way over the loch again to the Spey. The Spey above Applemore is pretty, narrow and winds a little bit. Sometimes the main current flows under the trees. Nothing difficult for experienced paddlers, but a little daunting for those paddling open water for the first time. We're enjoying the paddle when I turn round and see Yoni and Yeffy sideways on and drifting down onto a log protruding out into the river. I say to Jeff, "Here comes a capsize," and a few seconds later they are pushed onto the log. First the boat is stable, but shifting their weight upstream, the inevitable occurs. Jeffy climbs onto the log, and Johnny is hanging on the log, feet underneath it. We shout to him to climb onto the log, and then to both of them to crawl onto the bank. The boat is upside down under the log some way from the bank. Paul, secured from the bank, gets a little wet fixing a line to the boat. The first attempt at pulling the boat out does not succeed. Ray analyses the situation and chooses the right angle for us all to pull on the rope and free the boat. Surprisingly, the boat comes free with the first big tug. Paul lifts the boat sideways, slowing, allowing the water to drain out, and then finally bailing makes the boat dry enough to paddle.
That'll be alright.
Boat is paddled down to the nearest beach where we lunch and the swimmers can put on some dry clothes. After lunch we continue downstream without any further mishaps. Due to the late start and the capsize, time is getting on. We finally land for our first night's camp at dusk. Putting up the tents in the dark is the final challenge for the day. Coconut curry for dinner and then to bed. It was a long day. After yesterday's long day, I sleep well. It was a cold night and in the morning mist is rising from the warmer river water. In the light, I can now investigate our wooded campsite. Before getting on the water, Ray gives us the day's briefing.
If you're looking there, you have to go up to the first road bridge, and then you can see there's a small island after the road bridge, and then there's another island about 1 kilometre further on, which is the one we're on.
After breakfast, the mist begins to lift and it turns into an absolutely magnificent day. Today is a flat water paddling day until Granton on Spey. Then the river speeds up and we have a few rapids until reaching camp. Today is the day of reflections. It is just nice to relax, float and enjoy. On our way to Granton on Spey, we pass some old bridge remains and thread the needle. After Granton, the river speeds up, but there are no significant rapids. Pushing on, the light on the hills is magnificent. This evening we pitch our tent in daylight. A good vegetable stew with pasta for dinner, and then to bed. We had a visit from Jack Frost last night. There are small ice crystals on plants, canoe helmets, seats and buoyancy bags. The scene of mist rising from the river is beautiful. On this cold morning, breakfast takes longer, as we are treated to eggy bread with the choice of bacon or vegan bacon.
No,
That's the joke of it.
I've got a little bit of spare egg if anybody wants.
Looks like it's going in with a toast.
Paul, do you want one or you?
Oh well, if nobody else
Egg
is
and
taking it.
sausage.
Go on, in you go.
For vegetarians, this one.
Just snip them up with a pair of... Oh no!
Oh, the ankles are so wide. I know, my feet swam around.
You do realise you're going to be in the next story, throwing your socks into the eggy pan with the bread. I'm thinking of valve formulating.
I am looking forward to today. We will encounter the washing machine and Locando on our way down to Rothes. We set off under a gorgeous blue sky. The river picks up speed as we paddle towards the washing machine. Jeff and I have a discussion in the boat because Jeff does not believe we have even paddled the washing machine as we eddy out at the bottom. He just enjoyed some nice waves. Ted, our solar paddler, unfortunately, clips a wave at the bottom and is catapulted out of his boat into the water. The boat stays upright and dry. He has a cold swim. We continue on to Knockandoo. We had enjoyed paddling the rapid the day before this trip started, and are disappointed this time that the water level has gone down and the rapid is less interesting. Below the rapid is a good place for lunch.
Yeah, you came out and the boat stayed the right way up.
After lunch, the river continued moving with small rapids. We had a short break in Aberlour and then on to our last camp spot of the trip. It was a good day. I love the Spey. It has such a unique character. Most rivers become sluggish as they approach the sea. The gradient decreases and the flow slows down. The Spey is an exception. It has a fast current and small rapids right to the end. The first few kilometres today are easy paddling, but it is good to always be wary. Ian and Laura paddled into a stopper and landed in the water. We have a short break on a shingly beach while they put on some dry clothes. Passing under the bridge at Oktober, the character of the river changes as it flows through an alluvial plain as it speeds its way down to the sea. Fallen trees and other debris block the way in a few places, making this also a challenging section. It is time to get out and line the boats. The main current flows into trees and submerged logs. quite breezy today, but managed to find a little shelter from the wind for our final lunch stop. Around 2 o'clock we make our final paddle strokes as we land at Spey Bay. It has been a great 5 days and time to think about our next trip.